smells of soft. This is star anise.
अच्छा, ये केरला के खानों में भी बहुत डलता है। इसको क्या बोलते हैं?
Star anise.
स्टार अनीस।
Star anise.
और हम उर्दू में आप इसको क्या बोलते हैं?
उर्दू में पता नहीं क्या बोलते हैं इसको,
क्योंकि ये मैंने वहाँ नहीं देखा, हमारे उधर नहीं इस्तेमाल होता है।
There is this paper I had sent to
अच्छा।
the gentleman to take a print out. I've got all the names back. I can't remember them.
और ये क्या है? What is this?
This is known as पत्थर का फूल.
पत्थर का फूल।
This is what it is known as.
अच्छा।
The
And it's used in food.
as a flavoring agent.
And where is it found?
All over.
All over.
All over.
अच्छा, कभी नहीं देखा। तो किस में डलता है ये?
You can put it in any
Anywhere.
curry, but normally it is put in meat.
अच्छा।
When you've done all your cooking, you just take a little bit of this. For say about a kg of meat, you take a spoonful of this, crush it, dry roast it, and then add.
So it's for the flavor and smell both.
Releases its flavor only when it is warmed up. Like all spices. Like all spices.
अच्छा, पत्थर का फूल।
What have you brought?
This is a Karela.
मैं
No, you brought a Karela.
कश्मीरी चाय
अच्छा 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 अच्छा.
लाहौर की है।
अच्छा।
हमारे यहाँ बहुत इस्तेमाल होता है, हर खाने के बाद बनती है। सर्दियों में तो बहुत होता है। आपके यहाँ बनती है कश्मीरी चाय?
नहीं हमारे नहीं. This is the one that you mix with कहवा or on its own?
नहीं, विद मिल्क।
With milk.
विद मिल्क। पिंक टी
हाँ,
या नम, हमारे यहाँ से
लाल टी।
नमकीन चाय भी कहते हैं।
The Kashmiris call it noon cha.
नून चाय।
Noon cha.
अच्छा, नून
Yeah,
चाय।
yeah.
हम लोग उसको नमकीन चाय बोलते
अच्छा.
हैं वहाँ पर। कश्मीरी चाय
The
नहीं।
Kashmiri tradition is they have this copper samovar in which just keeps on boiling. You take it out and you.
इसका जो रंग निकालना है ना, वो असल में चीज़ है।
वो बहुत उबालना
बहुत
पड़ता है
उबालना
उसको.
पड़ता है और उसको फिर आप यूं करके जो है ना उसका रंग निकालते हैं, जैसे कपड़े का रंग
या
निकालते हैं ना वैसे। और अगर ये डार्क हो जाता है तो ये कड़वी हो जाती है अगर आप इसको ज़्यादा ओवरकुक करते हैं।
So how old is this tradition of tea drinking?
The Chinese, the Kashmiri tradition of tea drinking is independent of the Brits. This has come from Central Asia. So and the Kashmiris do not add sugar to it; they add salt. And if you have gone to their house and you are a guest, and if you are a favored guest, then as a special concession, they'll add a dollop of butter. Oof, it becomes impossible to drink.
अच्छा,
It is in Bengal, but it is across. Your first mouthful.
Is the Karela, the bitter?
Acha, but here when you are having a meal, the first mouthful is a little bit of ghee
Yeah.
with rice.
Here.
Begin with that. No? Across a whole lot of culture. That you. The first thing is either, in many cultures, the first mouthful is either sweet or bitter or absolutely flat, tasteless. And then you go.
There is this story. Karela has been eaten in Bengal since the 8th century AD. And there's this phenomenal woman called Khona in Bengal. And there's a collection of her saints called Khona Rochna, which dates back to the 11th century.
Okay.
But we don't know if Khona lived in the 11th century or if there was actually any Khona at all. Khona wrote about foods and or talked about food, when to sow which.
Not right now.
When to sow which crop. And so she has this thing about Karela, which says that Karela should be eaten during the summer months and when the sun is at its most unforgiving.
Okay.
And legend has it that Khona was the daughter of daughter-in-law. Some say she was daughter, some say she was a daughter-in-law of Varamihira,
Okay.
the astronomer. But that's a little doubtful because Varamihira lived around the 6th century and this is 11th century. So we actually don't know what Khona is and who. The legend goes that she was an expert in talking about which crops to be sown at which time.
Okay.
And a lot of what she said conflicted with Varami, who was an astronomer in its. So the legend goes that Varamihira got her tongue slashed.
Okay.
But that's a myth that we don't know. But even she doesn't talk of eating Karela the first thing. Some people say that the practice of eating bitters for Karela actually started with the Portuguese. Because the Portuguese would eat Karela as a starter. And in Bengal, that's...
In Bengal, Karela is like a starter.
Yeah, you usually start with the bitters. There is a dish called the shukto. I don't know if Sohail would know about it. There's a dish called the shukto. It's a sort of a medley of vegetables with... but the basic taste of it is bitter. It's Karela. It derives its taste from... Karela is the key to... what is it? The bamboo.
And you make Karela
No, I'm
also
right,
like
right.
this?
Fried.
Like in Kerala, they also fry the Karela. They don't make it a curry.
We really don't know around what time Shukto emerged. But if one looks at existing literature, the first references come around the 16th century. Okay. And there is a circumstantial evidence of Portuguese, but not the Portuguese not the Goan Portuguese or the South Indian Portuguese. Actually, the Bengal Portuguese were very different from the South Indian and the. In fact, they didn't even. They were not even subordinate to the governor in Goa. They reported to the Ceylonese.
Okay.
But a lot of their food is actually in Bengal they call it mog, which is a lot of Portuguese sailors who would combine with the Arakanese, the Lascars, and a lot of that food actually comes from those sailors. So there's a circumstantial evidence that Shukto could be a sailor food which came into. But the word Shukto has actually nothing with Karela. Shukto means bitter. Shukuta, meaning bitter dried leaves of the jute plant.
Rice, the consumption of rice is so fascinating that across Haryana, Punjab, West UP, which includes the Punjab and Pakistan, rice is not the staple. The staple is wheat.
Wheat.
But traditionally, when a wedding takes place, the girl's maternal uncle hosts a feast.
Like some more.
Yeah, actually. And that feast is called bhat. It's called bhat
Huh.
in Haryana,
Huh.
in Punjab,
Huh.
in West UP,
Huh.
Then what?
and it is possible that no rice may be served.
Huh.
But they still
But the
call it
meal
bhat.
is called bhat. Because this goes back now, the practice of the mama hosting the main meal would go back to societies which were matrilineal. So from then this practice of the mama giving the main, and in a whole lot of marriages, mama has a central role. This is a continuation of that matrilineal tradition, where mother's brother was very important.
Very important.
Now in society, mother's brother is just the sala. He is not very important in terms of ritual and all that. But in marriages, the mama wears the safa different from the others.
But Suhail, in our there in Pakistan, mama is still very much there. His role is more important in marriages than
No,
chacha.
marriages. That's what I'm saying.
Still
Marriages.
there.
But otherwise,
Otherwise.
in family affairs and all that,
Huh.
mama doesn't play a very crucial role. But in marriages, that continues.
That's true.
Even in Bengal, there is something called Annaprashan, the child's first meal, which happens anything between 4 to 6 months. It's the mama who is supposed to feed the child.
It's a kind of a ritual.
It's a kind of a ritual.
The first solid meal.
हमारे यहाँ है इधर सुहेल. वो भी देखो पाकिस्तानी खाना.
You see, एक तो वो पाकिस्तानी खाना नहीं है, वो पंजाबी खाना है.
नहीं नहीं.
या पंजाबी खाना है या बलूची खाना है.
हाँ
You know,
ये तो है. Different regions.
just as there is nothing called Hindustani khana. This is a myth.
That I have to say it in India. If I'm in Pakistan, then I won't say Pakistani.
No. It is not Pakistani khana because you look at the food that the Balochis cook, the Makranis cook, the Sindhis cook, the Afghans cook, Punjabis cook. It's so much different.
That is.
So and that's why I have problems with terms like Pakistani cuisine, Hindustani cuisine. This is all nonsense. As it is, I think cuisine itself is a bloody myth.
Yeah, and
So there is nothing called because all these people who write about food, they try to give you an idea as if these things are fixed in time.
then
What is Mughaliya food? It is known today by the excessive use of fat, excessive use of chilies and spices. It is all very hot. There were no chilies in India till Jahangir's time. There were no chilies. The chilies arrived at the time of Jahangir. The Portuguese brought it from South America. It would have taken almost 100 or 150 years for it to be cultivated in large enough scales so that it becomes a part of everybody's kitchen, which would mean around Bahadur Shah Zafar's time. Because Jahangir rules in the early 17th century. So
with the jacket.
no thanks.
That is what Shukto.
Yeah.
Two of the
Okay.
key things that go in.
Just little.
A very small piece, a
Just
very
one-
small
one-
piece. I'm off anything that is true. So I'll just pick up. This will do for me. Thank you.
Two of the things that go in Shukto are potatoes and
Yeah.
sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
They came with the Portuguese.
Yeah. Sweet potato probably followed a different route.
Acha.
It has probably come from Central Asia.
Sweet potato is tapioca.
No, Shakarkand.
Shakarkand.
The name itself is Persian.
हाँ,
Shakarkand. So, and it's possible that it has traveled from China or Central Asia to Persia and then has come to us. Because before the discovery, before the world came to know sugar cane, sugar was extracted from Shakarkand and from beetroot. Yeah, so in all probability this has come from there, but potato certainly came from the Portuguese. So I had a very interesting meal last time when I was in Karachi. I had gone there for Fair Centenary. There was a 3-day thing. I and Gauhar had gone. And somebody who is based in Karachi, but Lahore, but he keeps on traveling to Delhi. He does some business. I met him in the press club here. And then I discovered that he is distantly related. His sister is married to my... Yes. Married to a first cousin in Lahore.
अच्छा.
Thank you very much.